Mary Ainsworth's attachment theory. When we think about human relationships, one of the most powerful bonds we experience is the one between a child and their caregiver. The psychologist Mary Ainsworth devoted her life to studying how children form attachments, and her work has had a deep impact on psychology, education, and even parenting practices. In simple terms, attachment is the emotional connection that a child builds with their caregiver, usually the mother or father, which gives the child a sense of safety, security, and love. Ainsworth believed that this first bond plays a critical role in shaping how a person relates to others throughout their life. Mary Ainsworth carried out research in the mid-20th century, most famously known as the strange situation experiment. She wanted to observe how babies between 12 and 18 months old reacted when separated and reunited with their mothers. The setting was simple: a child was placed in a room with toys, the mother was present, then she left the room, and later she returned. Sometimes a stranger would enter the room during the process. What may sound like a small experiment revealed incredibly powerful insights about human development. Through this, Ainsworth identified different styles of attachment that children form, depending on how their caregivers respond to their needs. The first style is called secure attachment. In this case, the child feels confident that their caregiver is a reliable source of comfort and protection. When the mother leaves the room, the child may show distress, but when she returns, the child is quickly comforted and resumes playing. This shows that the child trusts the caregiver to come back and to meet their emotional needs. Securely attached children usually grow up to be confident, able to form healthy relationships, and resilient in the face of challenges. The second style Ainsworth observed is called insecure avoidant attachment. These children do not show much emotion when the caregiver leaves or returns. They often avoid or ignore the caregiver and may show more interest in the stranger than in their own mother. This behavior is thought to come from caregivers who are emotionally distant, dismissive, or unresponsive to the child's needs. As adults, individuals with avoidant attachment may struggle to open up in relationships, fear intimacy, or appear emotionally detached. The third style is known as insecure anxious or ambivalent attachment. Children in this category become extremely distressed when their caregiver leaves, but when the caregiver returns, they are not easily comforted. They may want closeness but also resist it, showing signs of confusion, anger, or clinginess. This often develops when caregivers are inconsistent, sometimes loving and responsive, but at other times neglectful or unavailable. Later in life, people with this attachment style may feel insecure in relationships, worry about being abandoned, or depend too heavily on others for reassurance. A fourth style, which was added later by researchers building on Ainsworth's work, is called disorganized attachment. Children with this style show contradictory behaviors, such as approaching the caregiver but also freezing, avoiding eye contact, or appearing fearful. This often occurs when the caregiver is also a source of fear, such as in cases of abuse or severe neglect. These children grow up with conflicting feelings of wanting comfort but also fearing the person who is supposed to provide it. Disorganized attachment can lead to difficulties with trust, self-esteem, and mental health later in life. What Mary Ainsworth's theory showed the world is that the quality of early caregiving has a major influence on how a person sees themselves and others. A child who grows up with consistent love and care learns that the world is a safe place and that relationships can be trusted. A child who does not receive this consistency may develop doubts, fears, or unhealthy patterns that affect friendships, romantic relationships, and even workplace interactions as an adult. It is important to remember that attachment styles are not set in stone. While early experiences are powerful, people can change over time through new relationships, therapy, or self-reflection. For example, someone who grew up with insecure attachment might still learn to build healthy and trusting relationships if they find a supportive partner or undergo personal growth. This is encouraging because it shows that even if a person's early years were difficult, they are not doomed to repeat the same patterns forever. Ainsworth's work also changed how parents and caregivers think about raising children. Her findings emphasized the importance of being emotionally available, responsive, and sensitive to a child's needs. Simple things such as comforting a crying baby, listening to a child's feelings, or being consistent with love and attention can have a lifelong impact. This research has influenced parenting advice, early childhood education, and even social policies that support families. Attachment theory is not only about children. It also helps us understand adult relationships. For instance, people with secure attachment styles often have fulfilling romantic partnerships, while those with anxious or avoidant attachments may experience more difficulties. Recognizing one's attachment style can be the first step in improving relationships and breaking unhealthy cycles. Couples therapy, self-awareness, and healthy communication can all play a role in healing attachment wounds. Mary Ainsworth's contribution was more than just a theory. It was a window into the emotional needs of human beings. Her research showed that love, care, and security are not luxuries, but basic requirements for healthy psychological development. It reminds us that the foundation of human happiness often begins in the earliest bonds we form, and those bonds can echo through an entire lifetime. To sum it up in layman's terms, Ainsworth taught us that the way children are cared for in their early years shapes how they see themselves and how they connect with others. Secure attachment builds confidence and trust, while insecure attachment can lead to struggles in relationships and self-esteem. But the good news is that change is always possible, and people can grow toward healthier patterns no matter their past. Her work continues to inspire parents, teachers, therapists, and anyone who cares about the well-being of children and adults. If you found this explanation helpful and want to learn more about psychology, human behavior, and theories that shape our understanding of life, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us continue creating meaningful content for learners like you.